Hey everybody. Oh, we are blessed with groceries and I'm live and the dog's gonna bark like crazy. This is gonna be so funny. And I'm gonna keep it live too. But anyway, hopefully you're having a great weekend, great spring already. I thought I'll jump on camera and share this particular topic. Notice a few of you on my YouTube channel from way back. A lot of it's mostly music related, but I was like, why not, share some of this material as well, um, you know, basically with that community. So anybody can use this material. And I was like, hey, I have a YouTube channel I haven't used in a while, so let me just share some of this. I told you it's gonna be. You see how I go live? I told you it's gonna be funny. It's forever etched in stone. If you can hear me, this is great stuff, isn't it? Is it life be life in, right? So what my dog basically talked about our habitual behavior. That was in dog language. She had habitual behavior to guard the house. So you get the idea. All right. So let me it's hilarious. Shout out to my wife for taking care of that. So let me before I forget, join this coming June. Sorry. Oh, you couldn't see that anyway. Here it is. Let me find my fancy stuff I got going on. Here, join the Science of Getting Rich Summit. That's on June 19th through the 21st. And the link is in the description of this post. Where's the there we go. For those that are wondering, here on Instagram and of course here as well, this is for people that, it's the science of getting rich. We're talking about the science of it. So a very famous book, those that have a pressing need or a strong desire for more money. Basically, why is he walking in the grass? I just cut the grass. I don't understand this logic sometimes. But anyway, he meant well. So anyone who hasn't found time or opportunity to go deeply in the study of metaphysics, basically the unseen, this is for you. And especially for all those that want money, for all those that want more money in life, I highly recommend attending. The link to this, it's a webinar, it's a live stream. So, the link to that is in the description. But of course, for those that want to get it on Instagram, just message me or DM me. Sandy Gallagher is talking. Of course, Bob Proctor, Peggy McColl, Phil Goldfine, Manny Cabo, and Cynthia Kersey. So a lot of powerhouses there. And it's going to be an amazing event. So definitely want you to attend and invite you. So without further ado, let me talk about what I wanted to share with y'all to help you out. So if bad-rooted habits remain, nothing improves in life. Bad habits. How many bad habits all of us have, right? I'm sure there's a lot of them. And, habits are habits, right? They're only bad if they hold you back from something. They hold you back from the essence of who you are. They hold you back from achieving a higher level of life. And habits could not only be just things that you do, it could be a mindset as well, how we tend to think, how we limit ourselves based on our own thinking, right? So let me read a little bit here and kind of reiterate and share some of my thoughts to help you out. Over time, the cues that spark our habits become so common that they are essentially invisible. The treats on the kitchen counter, the remote control next to the couch, the phone in our pocket. Our responses to these cues are so deeply encoded that it may feel like the urge to act comes from nowhere. For this reason, we must begin the process of behavior change with awareness. So basically, you're becoming aware of what you're doing. It says even here, Our responses to these cues are so deeply encoded that it may feel like the urge to act comes from nowhere. So you are instinctually doing things and even unconsciously doing it because it's become such a habit, part of your identity. So, like for instance, this one everybody can relate to: the phone in our pocket or wherever you have your phone. You're watching something, you're talking to somebody, you see it all the time, and you'll get an alert. You have to look at your phone. It could be any app, any social media, any text message, anything. You want to look at your phone. That is a habit, right? And it's so into your identity. And also, you're doing it unconsciously. So, before we can effectively build new habits, this is for those that want more money in life, more growth in life, a better lifestyle, a brand new sports car, you want an exotic car, you want to make your first six figures, multiple six figures. It doesn't matter. It's all unique to you, right? And of course, those that want to make some money, in a different way, but also work smarter and not harder, especially a typical 9 to 5, reach out to me. All right. I always love helping with this and always love helping people. So, before we can effectively build new habits, we need to get a handle on our current ones. Okay. So, you got to handle what you're doing currently. A lot of us have habits that don't serve us. I hate saying bad habits, but they are bad if you want something different. Nothing's going to change unless you change. So, this can be more challenging than it sounds because once a habit is firmly rooted in your life, it is mostly non-conscious and automatic. If a habit remains mindless, you can't expect to improve it. So you can't improve these habits if it's mindless. As the psychologist Carl Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. So a lot of people are calling, it was just the luck. It was just fate, and see how it works out. You have to make the unconscious conscious. So you got to be aware of what you're doing, right? So I mentioned the habit scorecard. There's a process known as pointing and calling. It comes from the Japanese railway. Basically, they point at everything, they document everything. You have to verbally say it, next stop, whatever, 74 miles per hour. They call every little thing and they point at it. That's a different method. I did mention on a previous live about the habit scorecard. Basically, you write down everything you do throughout your day. And then you put a equal sign, which means neutral. Plus sign means that it's positive. Basically, it's a good habit towards the goal that you want. Or a minus sign, basically, it's a negative habit that takes you backwards, right? Like I'm looking at this habit scorecard right now, and it says check my phone. That's a negative habit. If you're just checking your phone for like social media or just things that aren't progressing you, obviously that's a negative habit. It says brush my teeth as a positive. Well, it is a positive. I put that as neutral, but you get the idea. Put on deodorant. That's so funny. So you get the idea. Just wanted to share that with you. So once our habits become automatic, we stop paying attention to what we're doing. Now, remember, it works negatively and positively. Negative habits, basically habits that don't serve you towards the purpose or goal that you're doing, you have to make it conscious. A lot of times we don't even know what we're doing. You don't even know what comes out your mouth sometimes. So that's basically awareness. So once our habits become automatic, we stop paying attention to what we're doing. And that can work as a positive too, because once you start doing this positive habit, it becomes a part of you. So with enough practice, your brain will pick up on the cues that predict certain outcomes without consciously thinking about it. Now, this is a higher level of awareness. Like, the more you do certain things, your brain will automatically pick up on certain things or outcomes without even trying to think about it. It actually becomes very razor sharp. It's kind of like we were just watching a nature show, Our Planet, uh part 2. And instinctually, the animals, they get better at hunting for the hunters, the predators. This bird that was just learning how to fly, instinctually, its brain is picking up the cues that predict certain outcomes. It was watching the sharks eat all his friends. They're eating, like, the other birds that were learning how to fly, and he's watching all the birds just get eaten up. So basically, he's learning their habits, and their mistakes is causing them, their lives or whatever. So it's predicting the outcome automatically. And then it waited and it went another way and waited for more wind to fly, and he actually got away. So that basically relates to that. So the process of behavior change always starts with awareness. Always starts. If you want to change your behavior, your habits, it always starts with being aware of what the heck you're doing and how you're thinking. Mindset is everything. So if you're not aware of what you're thinking, it's a tough battle, right? So pointing and calling raises your level of awareness from a non-conscious habit to a more conscious level by verbalizing your actions. Now, I don't use this method. A lot of people try this method. A lot of people still use this method. If you need to point and say, hey, I'm about to eat some cookies, and I know that my goal was to lose 10 pounds. Cookies, bad habit. I know it sounds stupid, but you have to catch yourself because you're making yourself more aware of these habits that don't serve you. Even quitting smoking or quitting alcohol or whatever, right? Whatever, even substances that, you shouldn't be doing or aren't healthy, maybe multiple fried foods you eat every weekend or every day, any type of negative thing that affects you and you want to change it, pointing and calling can help you, especially the more you do it. So the habit scorecard is a simple exercise you can use to become more aware of your behavior, like I mentioned. So I'm going to find one of my highlights here. Let me see if I can find it. I mentioned habit stacking. I'm not going to talk about that. I talked about that on another live. Basically, habit stacking is connecting a new habit after a sequence of other things. So when you wake up, you shower, you brush your teeth, you do whatever with your hair. I don't really do much with my hair, but after that, I will make phone calls. I will, I don't know, contact Jamel because I know he's on to something, right? Or I will read this chapter, or I will study this, or whatever. You're tying a new habit with a sequence of other habits that you ritually do, right? So that's an easier way to basically connect multiple habits, habit stacking. All right. So let me cover some key points here. I like that. The two most common cues are time and location. So should I share that? Time and location basically is I'm going to do this thing at this time at this place. That improves habits, I think, over 30%, right? When you're creating new habits, probably higher than that. Creating an implementation intention is a strategy you can use to pair a new habit. And I just talked about that. And the habit stacking formula. Okay. So we get that idea. And what else do I want to share with y'all? Oh, Maybe I'll share that with you. For example, uh, okay, let me just read this last paragraph here. Oh, we're at 15 minutes. Okay. So the more obviously available a product or service is, the more likely you are to try it. People drink Bud Light because it is in every bar and visit Starbucks because it's on every corner. We like to think that we are in control. If we choose water over a soda, we assume it's because we wanted to do so. The truth, however, is that many of the actions we take each day are shaped not by purposeful drive and choice, but by the most obvious option. So I skipped a lot here, but that was pretty much the gist of it. Like if you go to certain stores, the end caps of stores, they'll put certain items, and we tend to buy those items because that's where we see it. So basically, if we hey, that's basically if we have those habits, um we think we have the choice. So it's basically psychological. Like you see cookies on the counter, in the middle of the counter or the island, you're gonna go grab some cookies. Now, if they're way in a pantry under some papers or something, you're not gonna go all the way in there and not really think about those cookies. So this is relating to I forgot the term they used, but environment is the invisible hand that shapes human behavior. So being aware of what's in your environment, right? If you have a TVs in multiple rooms, you're going to watch TV like because you see it and you know the connection between it and the experience you get. You get entertained, you get comfortable, you block out the whole world and you're into that world, right? So it's a lot deeper than you think when you look at environment based with certain items, right? So, and it says, for example, items at eye level tend to be purchased more than those down near the floor. So, anything you're seeing at eye level, notice top shelf, bottom shelf, whatever's at eye level tends to get purchased more, in supermarkets, any type of stores, right? So, this is very powerful information. And you can really look at your living space or your job, your desk, and look at certain things and why are they there? I'm surrounded by books. I'm meant to receive information and help people with it. So, and I got, affirmations and, all kinds of stuff, right? So, yeah, I definitely wanted to share that last part. That was a little bonus because I wasn't going to go that far in depth. But, it's something to really think about when you think that you're in control, but you become so used to these habits and certain things being in certain places, they have control over you. So why in the world am I talking about habits? Right? Habits, what you're doing right now, what all of us are doing right now shapes our future and our tomorrows. And if you're not aware of the habits that you developed over time, like myself, I'm human. I am human. I mean, I I had some habits that don't serve me, but I'm grateful to change. I'm grateful to be here to experience this change. And I'm grateful to be aware of it because I didn't know all of this was happening. I didn't know I had the power to be aware of what I was doing daily. It was crazy. Just letting things fall into order and not being aware of certain things. We're the source of it all. So our habits, our present creates our tomorrows. Everything you did in the past created who you are now. right? For good or for worse. So this is to kind of bring some insight, wake you up a little bit about, I shared a lot actually, um, different aspects of habits, but your environment of habits. And I also talked a lot about the cues. I didn't mention that. The habit scorecard, basically becoming aware of it, right? And the pointing and calling. So there was a lot of content here. So, of course, what else should you do? Message me. Let's talk about your next step. You know, of course, you want more out of life. Most of us do. You know, you want a better lifestyle, more time for yourself, more time for yourself. It's so, you know how many people I talk to, they don't have time for themselves because they're always working and they have kids. And some don't have kids and they're always working. And they don't have a place that they always wanted, a house, you know, and they've been trying for years. You know, I'm connected with a really beautiful environment, awesome people, and let's get you out of that. Let's get to you, you know, let's say you want to make an extra 1,000, 5,000 a month. It's possible, and people are doing it. But you know, a lot of y'all, your habits shape your mindsets. All right, but I'm very serious. Reach out to me. If this resonates with you or helped you in any way, feel free to drop comments. I love to hear what you have to say and what, you know, if this was helpful for you. And yeah, oh, I met some cool people, new connections. So looking forward to talking with y'all. I actually should check some messages here. But blessings. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And yeah, I hope this helps. Again, message me on Messenger, YouTube. I should get a notice when you put a comment or something. If you want to continue having a dialogue and see if I can help you. Instagram, you already know how to reach me. But some of y'all just waiting for the perfect time to do something. There's never the perfect time. The time is now. You're waiting to wait. Life is going to pass you by. And you still be in the same place or worse. Blessings, everybody. I'm out of here. See you next time.